The US and Afghanistan's military capabilities, compared to each other, are like night and day. The USA has one of the most powerful militaries in the world, while Afghanistan's is still developing. Despite this, there is always room for improvement. And so we will take a look at how the Afghan military compares to the United States military in 2025. Afghanistan's military spending has been on the rise in recent years, but it's still only about 4% of their GDP. In comparison, the United States spends over 3% of its GDP on defense. So even though Afghanistan is spending more, the US is still spending almost double what they are. This disparity in spending is reflected in the size and capability of the two militaries. The US has a total military personnel of 1.4 million active soldiers, while Afghanistan only has 180,000. Despite these challenges, the Afghan military has made some progress in recent years. They have received training and assistance from the United States and other countries, which has helped them to improve their capabilities. For example, the Afghan Air Force has been able to acquire some new aircraft and has conducted air operations against Taliban targets. Additionally, the Afghan Special Forces have been trained and equipped to conduct counterterrorism operations. Despite these improvements, however, the Afghan military is still far from being on par with the United States military. The Taliban remains a formidable threat, and the Afghan military is still struggling to provide security for the country. It's worth noting that military power isn't just about the size and capability of a military. It's also about the effectiveness and readiness of the force. The US military is widely considered to be one of the most effective and ready militaries in the world. This is due to a number of factors, including the professionalism of the US soldiers, the quality of training and education, and the advanced technology and equipment they use. On the other hand, the Afghan military still faces challenges in terms of effectiveness and readiness. Despite the progress that has been made, corruption and lack of accountability remain problems within the Afghan military. This has led to a decrease in morale and has made it difficult to build an effective fighting force. Additionally, the Afghan military has yet to be tested in a major conflict. This makes it difficult to assess their true capabilities and readiness. In conclusion, the Afghan military has made some progress in recent years, but it is still far from being on par with the United States military. The US has a significant advantage in terms of spending, personnel, equipment, and overall effectiveness. While the Afghan military has received training and assistance from the US and other countries, it still faces challenges such as corruption and a lack of accountability. Ultimately, the gap between the Afghan military and the US military is likely to remain for the foreseeable future. Now let us dive into a detailed comparison between the two nations' military capabilities across various key aspects. When it comes to the number of troops, the USA has a clear advantage over Afghanistan. With 1.4 million active military personnel and 857,000 in reserve, the US can field a much larger force than Afghanistan with its 180,000 active troops and 196,000 reserves. In terms of military spending, the USA spends over 3 times more than Afghanistan, investing heavily in research and development, which allows them to maintain a technological edge on the battlefield. Afghanistan's military expenditure is only around 4% of their GDP, which is significantly less than the US investment. However, it is worth mentioning that Afghanistan's military spending has been steadily increasing in recent years. Despite this increase, the country still faces significant challenges when it comes to its military infrastructure, including a lack of resources, corruption, and inadequate training facilities. Both countries have made efforts to improve their military capabilities through exercises and partnerships. The US regularly conducts joint exercises with NATO and other allies, while Afghanistan has participated in peacekeeping missions in countries such as Kosovo and Iraq. These efforts have helped to improve the interoperability of their militaries. But the overall disparity in capabilities remains. The US military has a well-established supply chain that ensures its troops have access to the latest equipment and technology, whereas Afghanistan's supply chain is still under development and the country relies heavily on foreign aid to meet its military requirements. Despite the challenges, Afghanistan has made some progress in recent years in terms of its military capabilities. The country has received military assistance from countries such as the United States, Germany, and Italy, which has helped to improve its Air Force and Special Forces. However, the Afghan Air Force still lacks the capacity and capability of the US Air Force, which has a large fleet of fighter jets, bombers, and transport aircraft. Overall, the Afghan Air Force has a small number of aircraft and limited capabilities compared to the U.S. Air Force. Afghanistan has also made efforts to improve its ground forces through training and education. The country has sent officers to military academies in the United States and other countries, and has participated in counter-narcotics operations in cooperation with the U.S. However, despite these efforts, Afghanistan's ground forces are still not on par with the U.S. Army, which has a well-trained and highly equipped force that is capable of conducting operations around the world. The U.S. Army also has a significant advantage in terms of technology and firepower, which makes it even more formidable on the battlefield. The U.S. Navy is one of the largest and most powerful navies in the world. It is a large fleet of ships, including aircraft carriers, destroyers, and submarines, as well as a strong presence around the globe. Afghanistan, on the other hand, does not have a navy. The country is landlocked, so it does not have any access to the sea. Without a navy, Afghanistan is vulnerable to threats from countries with naval capabilities, such as Pakistan and Iran. This could potentially limit its ability to trade and transport goods, as well as its ability to respond to military threats. Therefore, having a navy is crucial for a country's defense and security, especially in today's world, where the majority of global trade is conducted through sea routes. A strong navy can help protect a country's territorial waters from external threats, as well as project power and influence around the world. In addition to the size and capability of their militaries, several factors contribute to the overall military power of a country. These include geographic location, natural resources, and alliances with other countries. The United States benefits from a strategic location that provides it with access to vast amounts of natural resources, as well as control over key waterways around the world. The country is also a major player in the global economy, which gives it the financial resources to maintain a powerful military. Afghanistan, on the other hand, is located in a volatile region of the world and has been plagued by conflict and instability for many years. This has made it difficult for the country to develop a strong military and has limited its access to foreign investment and aid. In conclusion, the military power of the United States and Afghanistan cannot be compared. The U.S. has a well-trained, highly equipped, and technologically advanced military that is capable of conducting operations around the world. Afghanistan, on the other hand, is still developing its military capabilities and faces significant challenges in terms of infrastructure, training, and resources. Although Afghanistan has made progress in recent years, it is still not on par with the U.S. military, and it is unlikely that it will be able to match the U.S. military's capabilities in the near future. Nevertheless, it is important to continue supporting Afghanistan's efforts to build a strong military in order to help the country achieve stability and security. If you found this video informative and enjoyable, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more content. We would greatly appreciate your support.